It was the early 1980s, a time of Cold War experiments and naive fascination. A time of Stranger Things. In the small town of Hawkins, Indiana, covert experiments were being conducted. When an interdimensional gate was accidentally opened at the Hawkins National Laboratory, an army of creatures with long curved claws and gaping faces that bloomed like horrific flowers was unleashed. These creatures were labeled Demogorgons by a group of local kids who encountered them. Nancy Wheeler's knack for investigative journalism first emerged when she brought down a secret government organization in Hawkins, following the disappearance of her closest friend, Barb. Her being fired from the Hawkins Post during the summer of 1985 has not dissuaded Nancy from chasing leads. Formerly a popular jock, Steve Harrington is struggling to find his place in Hawkins now that high school is over, and his old friends moved away to college. Since then, he's spent his time scooping ice cream at the mall, flirting with girls, and cracking secret Russian codes with the help of his friends Dustin and Robin. Steve is carving out a new identity for himself and learning what true friendship really means. It's this newfound loyalty to his friends that compels Steve to come to the aid of his ex-girlfriend Nancy when he suspects she might be in terrible danger. The Hawkins National Laboratory was one of many federal compounds devoted to the Project MKUltra program. While conducting mind control experiments with test subjects on the ground floor, mostly on abducted children, the underground was ripped open by an interdimensional gate. This rift eventually unleashed an army of creatures in Hawkins. The authorities managed to seal off the facility, but not before the Chicago Sun-Times published an article exposing the operation and its parts in the death of Hawkins High School sophomore, Barbara Holland. The laboratory's multi-story compound still stands, a grim reminder of the disturbing events that happened there, most of which remain undisclosed, except to the few who witnessed them firsthand. Nancy Wheeler, aspiring journalist. Studious and rebellious, Nancy Wheeler is a stubborn investigator with an instinct for a good story. When her closest friend, Barb, went missing, she did everything she could to unravel the truth and secure justice. A brilliant journalist, she chases stories and follows leads despite the inequality and chavism she encounters at the workplace. Pursuing a lead one evening, she fiercely approaches the Hawkins National Laboratory before suddenly losing consciousness. A moment later, she awakens in a strange, misty realm with the sound of a familiar roar echoing through the air. Nancy Wheeler is able to make acute observation and gain insight that others may miss. Her personal perks, Better Together, Fixated, and Inner Strength give her the information and courage she needs to tackle unexpected challenges. Better Together. You seek justice and uncover the truth no matter what obstacles stand in your way. While repairing a generator, its aura is revealed in yellow to all of the survivors located within 32 meters. If the killer downs a survivor while you are repairing a generator, you see the auras of all other survivors for 10 seconds.
Let's burn that laptop.
Fixated. When you have a goal in mind, there is no turning back. Better to ask forgiveness than permission. Increase your walking speed by 20%. Lack the ability to see your own scratch marks. Inner strength. You look inwards and trust your instincts when you feel lost and alone. Each time you cleanse a totem, inner strength activates. You are automatically healed one health state while hiding inside a locker for 8 seconds when injured or suffering from deep wound status effect. Inner strength does not activate if you currently suffer from the broken status effect.
All this time, I've been trying so hard to pretend like everything's fine.
Steve Harrington, a former jock. Popular and arrogant, yet compassionate, Steve Harrington is an unlikely mentor and leader. He often acts as a surrogate big brother to a younger boy named Dustin. He even helped him find his slimy interdimensional pet Demogorgon, Darktanian. His reputation as protector grew, and he soon became a sort of babysitter for a group of kids in Hawkins, with a knack for messing around with strange and dangerous things. His courage is unmatched, so that he was even able to fend off a Demogorgon when it threatened his friends. One evening, he received a call from an assistant from his friend, Nancy Wheeler. He drove all the way to the Hawkins National Laboratory to see if she was okay. He searched the area but only found her notebook. Before he realized what was happening, the ground opened up and a swirl of black mist filled his eyes. When he awakened, he was in a strange place that seemed familiar, but unfamiliar at the same time. Steve Harrington is able to protect and support his fellow survivors while providing his own brand of humor. His personal perks, babysitter, camaraderie, and second wind enable him to distract killers, tolerate pain, and get back into the fight. Babysitter. While you have a reputation for being self-centered, you risk it all to help those in need. When you unhook a survivor, the rescued survivor benefits from the following effects for 8 seconds. Suppresses their scratch marks and pools of blood, increase their haste status effect by 7%. Babysitter reveals the killer's aura to you for 8 seconds.
I promise to keep the shit safe, and that's exactly what I plan on doing.
Camaraderie. Life has taught you the importance of friendship, which has given you strength. If you are hooked and enter the struggle phase, camaraderie activates. Pauses the struggle phase timer for 34 seconds as soon as any survivor comes within 16 meters of your hook.
So, remember, once you get in there, if you don't care, there you go, you learn my friend. You're learning.
Second wind. You have learned to avoid awkward situations with parents. Part of you still thinks your best option is to run away and hope things will take care of themselves. When you heal another survivor, with the equivalent of 1 health state, second wind activates. The next time you are unhooked or unhook yourself, you suffer from the broken status effect until second wind deactivates. You are automatically healed 1 health state after 20 seconds. While second wind is activated, the following conditions will be deactivated. Successfully being healed by second wind, being put into the dying state before the timer elapses. Second wind does not activate if you already suffer from the broken status effect.
So yeah, that's...
Nancy and Steve both find themselves in a strange place, not knowing what dangers they'll face. But don't worry, there is one danger they can handle, and they will teach the other survivors to handle it too. The Demogorgon. A bloomy mouth full of needle-like teeth or a face large, curved, razor-sharp claws, and powerful legs to pounce on victims make the Demogorgon a frightening monster to face in any dimension. It is a nightmare of unrestrained feral rage as it hunts down its prey and rips it to pieces, devouring every last morsel of flesh and gore, leaving nothing for scavengers. The creature is untouched by any sense of compassion or restraint looming over its victim. It shows no doubt or mercy, just a pure instinct of its insatiable bloodlust as it delivers the death blow. A perfect hunter, the Demogorgon is a macabre testament to the horrors lurking in the Upside Down. And why was choice pickings for the entity? The Demogorgon is an unidentified killer, able to open multiple portals and traverse between them to cover large distances, using its power of the abyss. It could detect any survivor within a close proximity to the portals, then unleash a leaping attack to inflict damage from a distance. Its personal perks, Surge, Cruel Limit, and Mindbreaker, impact the environment close to generators and affect nearby survivors in unexpected ways. Surge. Your eerie presence charges the air and interferes with technology. Whenever you put a survivor into the dying state, with a basic attack, all generators within 32 meters of your location instantly explodes and start regressing. Instantly regress affect generators by 8%.
The creature appears to have some unknown influence over electricity and electronics.
Cruel Limits. Your ties to the otherworldly manifest when your prey attempts to get away. Whenever a generator is completed, Cruel Limits activates. Block every vault location on the map for all survivors for the next 30 seconds. The auras of the black vault location are highlighted to you in yellow.
The specimen seems to be able to affect the state of nearby objects as if they existed in some other form within a dimension alternate to our own.
Mindbreaker. Your distressing presence drains and weakens your prey. All survivors repairing a generator suffer from the following afflictions: It cures the blindness and exhaustion status effect for the duration of repair action. If a survivor was already suffering from exhaustion prior to Mindbreaker affecting them, the status effect time will be paused and not recover for the duration of repair action. Those status effects linger for another 5 seconds after the survivor stops repairing.
The specimen's apparent telepathic abilities can evoke feelings of dread and fatigue in nearby individuals.
The Demogorgon is a monstrous being, and one of the few monsters to appear in the Entity's realm. But that doesn't change the fact that this creature is dangerous, and survivors need to watch out.